make things right with one more person that's important to me.
What up? What up? What up? What up, people? What up? What up? What up? See if anybody's out there. If anybody come through. Uh, see. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Got the TV playing. Ain't doing too much of nothing. I'm home. I was out and about, running the streets, doing some things, taking care of some business, and I'm home now. And I said, well, we were having such a great conversation last night. Let's see if, hey, what's up, Tasha? See if anybody's out there and wanna talk a little bit. Hey, Ebony. Hey, Boo. How you doing, girl? How you doing? I don't know who was out there. I said we might come back on Sunday, but it's Saturday, so I said, well, let me see who out there and what's crack a lacking on this Saturday afternoon. What y'all doing? What you doing? What you? Whew, I'm gonna go on and let y'all know I'm in a little bit of a mood. I'll tell y'all why. I'll tell y'all what's going on. I said maybe if I go live, that'll help my mood. Some of my folks out there. You watching those Braxton's Tasha? What you think about it? We talked a little bit about it yesterday, but we can talk about it some more today. We can talk about what I gotta. You know what? I need to start using cocoa butter on my leg. I have these scars and I don't know where they came from. I got like right here on my leg. I got like three scars. Like what the hell? Where these scars coming from? What you think about those Braxtons, Tasha? What you think? You think you see Tamar's side of things? Okay, then that answers that question. I would have beat Tamar's ass. Yeah, I think Tamar overdue for one. And I don't even promote violence. I'm not that type of person, but she overdue for one. I just can't. I cannot. And she is so she just has this entitlement that she's just entitled to whatever. You know, it's just an entitlement there. And again, what up? Hey, Teddy, how you doing, boo? How you doing? What you doing this Saturday afternoon? We're just talking a little bit. I ain't even put nothing in the hashtags because we just gonna talk. We're gonna let the conversation flow. I'm in a mood. I'm gonna tell y'all in a few minutes. I'm gonna see if anybody else come through. I'll tell y'all what's going on. But I said I'm gonna go live and maybe y'all will make me laugh, joke, smile, and help me out a little bit. I'm just eating and drinking. Hey, you know what? That's what I need to do. I need to pour me a drink. That's probably what I need to do. I need to pour me a little cocktail. What up, little baby? How you doing? Well, you know what, Tasha? I don't think it was any question about why she got fired off the reel. She does not understand. She is again. I don't know how much of what she does is premeditated, and how much of what she does she really has no self awareness about. But I can't believe it's all an act. I have to believe that some of this shit she just don't. She just doesn't have. Yeah, I don't understand. What's up, Leo? Welcome to the room. And I'm with you, boo. I'm with you. I agree with you on that one too. And you know, I think Tracy was about to go there. And I can understand where people might have been like, oh, she was overreacting, oh, she was this, she was that. But I think that's just years of pent up frustration that's just coming out. I think it's just years and years of feeling like her sisters don't have her back and don't give a damn about her. I just think it's years and years of it. I'm good trying to figure out what I'm going to eat. Well, I just ate dinner and it wasn't good. It wasn't a good decision. But I've been eating healthy all week. So I guess I said I'll just make today my cheat day because I didn't feel like cooking. You know what, Ebony? It's not even that. I'm gonna tell you what it is, but it's not. No, I don't need you to windmill on nobody. But I'll tell you what it is. I think I'm gonna pour me a little drink though. Tamar got fired because of Vince. Once they were done with him, they were done with her, and I think Vince is a big of a diva, is as big of a diva as Tamar. Let me tell you something. I used to feel sorry for Tamar. If y'all remember the very first season of Vince and Tamar, right? When they had their little spinoff series, I used to be like, he talks to her so crazy. And I used to actually feel sorry for her because I was like, this man, and I knew then, I said, if this is with the cameras running, he treats her like this. I can only imagine what's going on behind closed doors. Now, I'm not accusing that man of hitting her, but definitely of some mental abuse because the way he talked to her was real damn crazy. And again, I'm not excusing Tamar's bad behavior, but I was like, but if that's what he was willing to do on camera, I can only imagine what he did off camera. Tamar got, I just read that. Tamar's like Carly Red. They both are exhausting, nauseating, full of shit. Well, she's been saying that since season 1. Yeah. Yep. Hey, what's up? Is that China White 37? Hey, boo. Yeah, I mean, I think that, it's only but so much anybody can take. And, something that, and I think I saw this when I looked at Bondi Blues review and Funky Dinevas. When you go back to season 1, they label her as the wannabe. So from the very beginning, Tracy was the outsider. And her husband brought up a really good point. And I said this last night, but her husband brought up a really good point. Once Tracy decided to have her child and have her family, I don't think she regretted having her family. I do think she has a little bit of what if syndrome. However, he said once that happened, it was like we were no longer, she was the outsider from that point forward because the 4 of them were in Atlanta or wherever they were living, and they were together because yes, they did their album and their album flopped, but they were in the industry. And then after their album flopped, they were singing backup for Tony. Tamar got her record deal and was able to do her first album. It flopped, but again, she's in the industry. And then Tawanda became Tony's personal assistant. So whenever they needed each other, they were there. Whereas Tracy was back up here in Baltimore and Maryland living her best life. And I don't think she regretted her family, but it was like, y'all weren't there. And I don't think it was until they started doing the reality show that Tracy started building that bond with them again. And so we're seeing in real time those growing pains. But in the interim, they have all changed. And I think that's part of it too, is that they don't deal with the reality of where they are now. Because at the end of the day, wouldn't nobody put up with that shit from Tamar, baby sister or not. I can't. I cannot. That bad behavior is not okay. I just cannot. Tamar have an EP credit, so that means that's how those sisters really view her. Tamar has an EP credit. Tony has, I think all 4 of them do at this. I think all of them have an EP credit now, but in the beginning, I think it was only Tony because it was not Vince's show, but Vince took the show to the. Remember when the show first came on, Vince was managing Tony. So Vince took this show to the networks. So he had an EP credit, and I think Tony did the first season. Then I think Tamar ended up getting an EP credit, and then the rest of the sisters slowly were able to get EP credits as the show went on. I think now all of them have some sort of EP credit. I think. I know for a fact Tony, Tamar, and I'm pretty certain I've seen Tawanda's name have an EP credit. But I think all of them do at this point. But in the beginning, I think it was only Tony and Vince. Because remember, that's how this whole show started, because Vince was managing Tony and married to Tamar. He brought this show to the network. That's why it's interesting. But I noticed his name is not on the credits anymore. I do notice that, unless I'm just missing it. Let me tell you something about Miss Evelyn. No disrespect, no disrespect, no disrespect. But Iyanla hit the nail on the head, and that's why her ass was mad, and that's why she wasn't feeling that whole intervention, because Iyanla hit that shit on the head and said, look, the fish stinks from the head down. And it doesn't mean that you intentionally made bad decisions, but you did. You made some bad decisions, and you created these monsters at the end of the day. Well, I'm going to call monsters, but you created these young ladies. And yes, they've done some great things in their life, and they're good people. That doesn't mean they're not flawed. That doesn't mean that they're not flawed. And at the end of the day, Tamar is the way she is because Tamar was the one that was left behind. Tamar, when the divorce happened, Tony was already Toni Braxton when that divorce happened. And as a result, the other sisters were a lot older and out of the house, or damn near out of the house. Tamar had to stand in it. And I think they let Tamar get away with a lot because it's a combination of the guilt that maybe they felt that, oh, we left Tamar in that shit. And she's the baby. You know what I mean? I think it's a lot of combination of that. But yeah, Evelyn got a whole lot to do with that too. Tamar Braxton is her own worst enemy. She is. I'm a Capricorn, and she does. Oh, not remind me of any Capricorn I know. I'm trying to think. My mama's a Capricorn. Is my mama a Capricorn? James is a Capricorn. Yeah, I don't know. We can be controlling, and the way Evelyn raised them was very controlling, i.e., making Tony and her sisters on tour were taking, yeah. Yeah, Teddy, maybe a little bit. But she did a lot of things, like even with the making them go on tour with them. But she put a lot of pressure on Tony to get her sisters a record deal, to get you take your sisters with you. Okay, the record company didn't want them, but you are now responsible for making sure they get on. And she put a lot of that on Tony, and that was a lot of pressure, you know, and it wasn't really fair to her. But I think even in real time, with the way that whole situation was handled with the divorce, I get it. You're a woman scorned. Don't get me wrong. I would probably be ready to tear the house down. But I believe the father when he says that the marriage was bad and things had gotten bad. And I'm not excusing his affair by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not excusing his affair. But I think that there's a lot of validity to what he said about how things went down with that marriage. That it wasn't like they were, living lovey dovey and everything was honeys and roses. And I just had this illicit affair. I think he very much is telling the truth when he says, look, shit was bad. And I was spending a lot of time at work because I didn't want to go home. And this was somebody I worked with, somebody I could confide in, somebody I could talk to. And there it is. So, honey, you would okay. So, little baby, when is your birthday? Teddy, your Capricorn. When is your birthday? Is my mom a Capricorn? She's December 26th. Is that Sagittarius or Capricorn? I know Sagittarius is the beginning of December. That's a December 20? Oh, you a Christmas baby for real, for real. See, my mom is December 26th. She a little Christmas baby. You a Christmas baby. Okay. The family is toxic like the Campbell family, Mary Mae. But you know what? I don't think that the Campbell family is as toxic. I think that one sister. I think that one sister got some real special issues. Yeah, I know who I'm talking about. I can't think of her name now. Um, the one that usually used to wear her hair light all the time. The one whose husband cheated on her. I can see her face, but her name, because it's Tina. Thank you, Tina. I think Tina the special one. I don't see that family being toxic because Goo got a good shoulder on her head. Um, Erica Campbell, I think, has a really good shoulder on her head. The other sister that we met, she got a little bit of an attitude too. The other sister, the one that got married and had the baby, and then they sort of alluded to the fact that the marriage wasn't doing too well, but she wasn't really on the show. On the show, she got a little bit of an issue. Honey, their mama is a sweetheart, but Honey was in love with that man, with their father, and kept going back to him. I think that might have sent the wrong message. That no matter how a man treats you or what a man does, you just forgive him and go back. Because didn't the parents get remarried like twice or something like that before they finally were divorced for good, and he ended up marrying somebody else, and then unfortunately he passed away. If I remember it correctly, that used to be a show. I enjoyed that show, but James said something on a live about a week or so ago. He said some people shouldn't do reality TV. Tina Campbell should never have done reality TV. I think she ruined her brand. I think it hurt Mary Mary's brand by her doing reality TV, because before reality TV, all we saw were the smiles, the voices, the message, the spirituality of it. When you raise that curtain and you let us see behind the curtain, it wasn't a good look for Tina Campbell. I think the times that Erica was tripping are just normal day-to-day tripping type stuff, like shit you expect. But Tina, and especially after that husband cheated on her, honey. I think Evelyn wanted it to not be true because it meant she failed. She was really to stay in a bad marriage just to win. I think so too. I think she'd have been willing to stay in that bad marriage. Both the husbands are a mess too. What husbands, Teddy, you talking about? You talking about Evelyn's husband and Campbell's husband. Which husband you talking about? Tell me what husband you talking about. Tina is the special one. Tina is insecure as hell with a jealous husband. Tina's husband was cheating on her ass all over LA, and I don't think he stopped, but that's my 2 cents. I think she pushed him to have the affair. I mean, look at that mouth. Leo, I can see, I see what you're saying. I understand your point. I understand what you're saying. You know, it definitely would have been hard to live with her. It definitely would have been hard to live with her. That's all. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Tina's husband is gay. Let me just say this. I've heard that multiple times, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Then she had the whole Donald Trump debate. Honey, that damn Donald Trump thing. Honey. See, some things people just need to keep to their damn self. That's it. For her to say he was in line with my spiritual views, first of all, are you just talking about his views on abortion? Because it's funny to me how people pick and choose their views. Because, okay, let's say, first of all, Donald Trump was very pro choice until he decided to be a Republican. So, know the history. Two, even if he is pro life, even if that is what your stance is on pro life, what about how he feels about sexual harassment? What about how he feels about treating immigrants? Isn't the same Bible that you're talking about, love everyone as thy neighbor, there's no greater sin? Like, what spiritual views you talking about that Donald Trump shares? Because if you're gonna take one, you better take them all. You'd have been better off just leaving. Just, and you notice how Erica just sat there like this. Is it a commercial break yet? Because she knew where that was going. She knew that was going way left real quick. Honey, Erica and Tina's husbands are a mess. I think, ooh, okay, Teddy. I like Erica's husband. I do like him, but I don't think all that glitters is gold with him. But I like him better. I'm gonna shut up. Yeah, I don't understand why she even had that conversation about Trump. You a New Year's Eve baby. Oh yeah, I can see where that could be a problem. But see, that's like my mom. Her growing up with her birthday being the day after Christmas, she is very sensitive about, and it's not in that Tamar Braxton way. But her thing is, she's insistent that if you're gonna give me a Christmas gift, my Christmas gift and my birthday gift can't be the same thing because I don't do that to you. And so my mother is very insistent that her birthday be treated as a separate day. And I don't blame her. I want my birthday to be treated as a separate day. And when she was growing up, my grandmother made sure that she always felt like her birthday was just as special and just as, separate as all her sisters and brothers. Because my mom had 2 sisters and a brother. So as an adult, she does that, and I can respect that. I definitely can respect it because I wouldn't want my birthday to be blended in. So I can see where you're coming from. My birthday is close to a holiday, but it's a good holiday. It's the 4th of July, which I don't necessarily celebrate the 4th of July. However, if you're having a cookout, I come. But a lot of times I usually end up with a long weekend on my birthday or some sort of break because my birthday, the 4th of July is a holiday. And even if the 4th of July falls on a Saturday or Sunday, you get that Friday or Monday off, which usually covers the 2nd of July. So it works in my favor a lot of times. And don't nobody really do nothing whole. I mean, ain't nobody traveling for the 4th of July. Ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't mess up people in town looking for something to do. So it usually works out for me. It is a lot of Capricorns in here. I remember Erica telling Tina she would never talk to people the way Tina does. Tina's a nasty piece of work, and she's not getting booked as much as Erica. Remember, her solo career didn't really go anywhere, but her solo career didn't go anywhere because nobody wanted to deal with her. And even if just like with Tamar, I refuse to believe that what she's doing is just for the camera. That's really how she treats people. Ain't nobody trying to work with you like that. Ain't nobody. Tina, you built the same relationships that Erica built. You knew the same gospel artists that Erica knew. So when it was time for you to come out with your solo stuff, why didn't it do what Erica did? Because you don't treat people that way. You don't treat people the way. And then you burn bridges with the record company because you were the one refusing to do the album. And I think one of the smartest things that Erica and her husband did, his name is escaping me right now, is made it very clear to everybody whose fault it was that the album didn't come out. Because then, even though her husband was on the hook for the album because he took that advance money, at the end of the day, it wasn't his fault. He did everything in his power to get her in that damn studio. She didn't want to do it. She refused. I mean, to this day, they still ain't came out with no damn album. And at this point, as much as I love Mary Mary, I love Mary Mary has gotten me through some stuff. Let me tell you, yesterday, okay, I don't know if I would be. I don't know if I'd even be excited to hear Mary Mary album at this point. New music. I don't know if I'd be. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be excited to hear it at this point. Oh Lord, Erica's. Oh Leo. Oh. Oh wow. Warren got that's it. Warren. Oh wow. Well, I remember, and they talked about that on the show that Warren got somebody pregnant. But the way they made it seem like was that the baby is no longer here. But okay. Those are two different occasions that happen to occur on the same day. Yeah. Yeah. You do it separate. Yeah, you do it separate. Exactly. You keep it separate. And I do that to my mom. I'm very, now don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. Sometimes my mama might get, like, for example, um, like my dad, this what my dad used to do, y'all. My dad, he thought he was slick. My dad would buy my mom a purse for Christmas, and then for her birthday, she would get the wallet. My mama said, she said, I can always tell what I'm getting for my birthday based on my Christmas gift. If my dad buys my mom clothes for her birthday, he bought her clothes for Christmas. I mean, if she gets jewelry for Christmas, she got jewelry for her birthday. Now my dad buys nice stuff. Don't get it wrong. Like if he buys her clothes, they are nice clothes. But like for Christmas, he might buy her a couple of suits for church, right? And then for her birthday, she'll get a couple of like lounge, like regular outfits, like day-to-day outfits. I'll be like, you think you slick. You slick as shit. You think you slick. So like this year, my dad, aka me, got I used my dad's credit card. The card had my dad's name on it, but I bought it. Got my mom a Pandora bracelet, right? So for Christmas, I got her a Pandora charm. For her birthday the next day, my dad got her a Pandora. But she had two different gifts. She had two different gifts, though. She had two different gifts. Tina is a better singer. Tina can sing her ass off. That is the name. You right about that. Oh, your birthday's July 6th, China? Your birthday July 6th, China White? Come on, Cancer. Come through, Cancer. Tina wasn't trying to go nowhere. Tina wasn't trying to leave that husband. No, she wasn't. Not with all them damn babies. Hey, is it Takoya Woods? If I'm saying it wrong, charge it to my head and not my heart. I apologize. With the black lady and her daughter, and they're trying to make a singing group. No, what's the name of it? I saw Pride and Prejudice Atlanta last week, and I did look at that. That had Jack A. Harry and Reginae Carter and stuff, and I did see that. Warren, yeah, that's his name. Tina was a super procrastinator. Tina was more than a damn procrastinator. Tina was a hot damn mess. Oh, I know what you're talking. No, I do know what you're talking about now. Miss T Music Factory. I have not looked at it. Should I look at it? Is it something? Is it going? Because it looks like another. It looks like a Dance Moms black version. Is what it looked like to me, with a little bit of singing thrown in. Does it look? I mean, I'll put it in my DVR. Check it out. I think the majority of celebrities should do reality. I'm the same way because everyone else gets to celebrations. Oh, gets to celebrate. Oh, okay. You should change the title of this live to Capricorn's Live. I might, cause y'all definitely up in the house, but I think I got me a Cancer over there. I think I got me one. Miss T's Music Factory. I'm gonna check it out. Hold on, y'all, cause I'm gonna pour me a little sippy. No, I'm not. Do I want to drink? I feel like I do. Hold on, y'all. Hey, Sassy Queen. I haven't watched the show, but when I first seen, I thought the door was a little person who was trying to make it in the music industry, but no one was reviewing her show. I'm going to re-up on my drink now too. Yeah, I think hold on, y'all. Let me give me a drink real quick. Hold tight. Before I tell y'all the story And I gotta tell y'all, we're going to give me a little drinky drink. Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all a little story because a lot of y'all in here right now were in here last night, so y'all will know what I'm talking about when I get ready to tell y'all this little story and why I'm in a little bit of a mood today. But y'all are helping me, y'all making me laugh and everything, so that's good. That's good. Hold on a second, let me go to my bar. Let me go to my bar. Okay. Pour me up a little something. I don't know what you sipping on, Teddy. I'm gonna pour me up a little something. I'm sipping on a little bit of Gentleman Jack. Little Gentleman Jack. That's what I'm sipping on. Yes. Yes. And I don't do no chasers. I don't do no ice, honey. Just give it to me straight like that. That's how I do mine. A little straight. Yeah, Sassy. Let me tell you, I'm going to tell y'all my story. I'm going to tell y'all what's going on with me. Let me get a little sippy sip. Cheers to the freaking weekend, okay? Let me put it right there. Okay, I don't need my mouse. It is. It's the big boy. It's the big boy. Let me tell you, this was a Christmas gift. This was one of my really good friends who actually is a part of the story I'm going to tell y'all. This is a liter. Or 1.75. This is a liter. Yeah, it is. It's a big boy. That's the big boy. That's what he got me for Christmas. And I sip off of this. This is not my everyday. Well, I don't drink every day. Let me not say that. I don't want y'all thinking. I don't. But this is not my casual. This one, you know. So that's why I still got some, and it's June because I'll sip them now. I'd have to turn the whole thing around to show y'all my bar, but my bar is plenty. It's full. It's full. But that's what I drink. Hey, have you thought about making videos about your experience in education? I love that you're a teacher. That gets tricky. Come on, Ebony, get you some. I'm sipping on Bombay Sapphire Gin. Let me tell you something about Gin. Me and Jen ain't friends. Me and Jen got into a really big argument my sophomore year of college, and we just ain't made up yet. The smell of gin, I can't. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, ma'am. No, sir. Yes, that's right. Well, here's the thing. So to answer your question, Leo, I'm actually working on some projects, and one of the projects that I'm working on is actually. Hold on, yeah. Okay. I just got a couple of good messages that made me feel a little bit better about. Again, I'm about to get to that story. Leo, to answer your question, I'm actually working on a couple of projects, and one of the projects that I'm working on, and Teddy, me and you, when you get here next month, we really do need to link up. Like real talk, DM me your number, or I'll DM you my number on Instagram. We really do need to link up because I do want to talk to you. First of all, just to hook up and say hey face to face, but definitely want to talk to you about some stuff. But one of the things I'm actually working on is a project that deals with teaching. I don't want to get too deep into it, but it does deal with teaching. I don't have a problem telling my teaching stories. I really don't. And I do, when we get to talking like this, I kind of end up telling y'all stuff. I don't mind telling stories. But when I say it gets tricky, it's not about telling the names and stuff like that. It's just in this climate in education and just this climate period, you just have to be very, very careful about, as an educator, how much you put out. Because like right now, my students don't know I do YouTube. That's not something I don't even tell anybody in my building I do YouTube. Not that it's a secret. It's just they don't need to know. Now, if they find it, it is what it is. I'm not breaking the law. But you just have to be careful about, from my perspective, how much you put out. And again, doesn't mean I never will. It doesn't mean I won't find a platform. I actually do y'all know I do a podcast, but I actually did a pilot podcast. If you go into my iTunes and you go through my podcast, the actual podcast, I actually did a pilot called Teacher Talk. And I did one episode and I got some really good feedback on it. But again, It was just a matter of creating a regular roundtable and maintaining it. I haven't thrown the idea away. I've just kind of put it on the back burner. But I'm glad to hear that, Leo, because that's one of the things I was worried about is, will I even have an audience? Will people even be interested in hearing what I have to say? Oh, they shouldn't do. Okay, because I was about to say they should. Okay. Yeah, me and brown liquor, that's what I do. I can't. I'm not gonna say I don't drink anyway, because I got a big old bottle of Summer Colada Ciroc over there right now. I think I'm gonna break that out for my birthday. I think that's what I might be sipping on when I do for my birthday, because I'm having a card party for my birthday. I think that's what I'm gonna sip on, because because I could sip on that all night and it not really bother me too much. This actually I could sip on Jack all night because I sip. I don't go. I sip. That's my old channel. Had to be taken down. Yeah. Oh, that was the name of your channel, Teacher Talk? Yeah, and that's the thing, little baby. They do. And with social media, they're getting so tricky about social media now, that stuff that wasn't a big deal or that teachers could kind of get away with. Not that they were doing anything wrong, but as a teacher, your life is scrutinized too. It's like almost on the level of like a preacher or something. Like, teachers aren't perfect. We don't live perfect lives. We don't, we do have a public life. We do things outside of the classroom, but the bar that we're held to sometimes is ridiculous to me. To me. And now with social media and so much being out there and so accessible, it's a lot easier. And sometimes we do it to ourselves. Like, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day. Some teachers just make bad decisions. And I think part of it is that they're young. I think that there really should be a lot of time taken with young teachers. And I also think that there's certain environments that young teachers should not be put into, my opinion. And I've thought this even since I first started teaching, and I was a young teacher. I started off in middle school. And I really think new teachers should not be in a high school setting if they're under a certain age, because you're just too close in age to those kids. That doesn't mean that every young teacher will make a bad decision. I just think that I think there should just be an age gap from teacher to student. I don't think a 22-year-old should be teaching an 18-year-old. You know what I mean? Think about it. If you go to 4 years of college and you're a first year teacher, if you started college at 18, 19, 17, 18 years old, you could realistically be in the classroom by 23, 24. I don't think a 24-year-old should be teaching an 18-year-old. I just don't. That's just my opinion. I just don't think so. I think there should be an age gap. We way over here, y'all. Students found my channel and loved it. Yeah, again, if you're not doing anything wrong, and I don't think, like, it's funny, one of my students did find one of my Love and Hip Hop reviews, right? I don't think she made the connection to, oh, this is Miss Proctor's random, I told y'all my name. Oh, y'all know my name. Random YouTube channel, because I was like, when she came to school and was like, Miss Proctor, I saw you last night. I was looking at Love and Hip Hop videos and you popped up. You was doing your little Love and Hip Hop review. And I was like, oh, you did? And I was waiting for those views to blow up. I said, she about to tell the whole school and everybody and their cousin gonna click on that video. I was waiting for it to happen. And it never did. And she never brought it up again, and neither did I. You know what I'm saying? I think she just randomly stumbled upon it and kept it moving. Like, so I'm not afraid of anybody finding out. Like I said, people at my job know I do YouTube and know I do a channel. I just don't be, like, here, really bitch, here, really bitch. And that's the other thing too, with my channel being the name that it is, which I've thought about changing the name. Thank you, Jacqueline. And I enjoyed it too. I was really upset. Let me say, okay, I'm gonna get to my story now. I enjoyed the conversation yesterday. And remember, for those of y'all who were in here yesterday, I'm gonna finish reading these comments and I'm gonna tell y'all my story. Remember, I left because I was going out to go watch the game over a friend's house, right? And I really was enjoying the conversation. And remember, I even thought about it. I was like, maybe I'll stay, maybe I'll come back, whatever. Let me tell you, I don't know who y'all follow spiritually, okay? So I don't want to offend nobody, but let me tell you how my God works. All right, so hold on. Let me finish reading these comments and I'm going to tell you what it is. Yes, a 23-year-old and an 18-year-old is too close together. Yeah, especially when you start talking about inappropriate behavior. Kids have crushes. Kids decide that. I mean, when I taught middle school, I was at a junior high, so it was 7th, 8th, and 9th graders. I I had ninth graders who was crushing on me and making inappropriate comments, and I had to nip that shit in the bud. And that's a, you know what I mean? So I can only imagine on a high school level. I agree wholeheartedly with everything you're saying. Thanks, Teddy. Their peers, yeah. I'm a vodka kind of girl. Now I can do some vodka. I ain't gonna say I don't do vodka. I can't do vodka like I do this. I can't drink it straight and all of that, but I do a mixed drink with vodka in it. Yeah, and that's the thing, you get hit on all the time. And I've had students flirt with me, and I don't dress provocatively at work. Hell, I wear polo and pants, slacks. Most 90% of the time I wear polo and slacks. I'll do a blouse and slacks. I told y'all the other day, I don't wear no whole lot of skirts. During the summer and spring, I'll wear more skirts, like flowy skirts, and that's more for comfort, honey, than anything else. But I don't do a whole lot of provocative stuff or whatever. But people like what they like, and so I've had students flirt with me before. I've never looked at a student and thought, "Ooh." I have looked at students and said, "Oh, in 10 years, he gonna get somebody in trouble." I've done that, but I ain't been interested in meeting up with him in 10 years. I ain't never had that desire. You know what I'm saying? But there are people who are inappropriate, and I think that you eliminate some of the temptation when you put things in place. That's just my 2 cents. I teach mostly 11th grade and some 10th grade. Yeah, see, yeah, and that's the other thing they don't understand too. Some of that stuff you got you're I don't think mean, but well, I ain't gonna put words in your mouth. You said mean, but very stern and very direct and very you keep. I keep a very strict line in my classroom. We can laugh and we can joke, but you ain't gonna never forget who's the adult and who's the child in this room. We're not gonna do that. I had a student the other day say, "Girl, whatever, whatever." I said, "Who's the girl?" "I'm sorry, Miss Proctor." "Oh yeah." Now we can laugh and we can joke, but we're not gonna forget who's in charge, because at the end of the day, I'm not your friend. And I had a girl say to me, and her ain't been getting along all year. I asked her to do something. She told me to wait. I said, "Excuse." I said, "Did you tell me to wait?" "Yeah." I said, "Wait." I said, and so I had to have a little conversation with her off to the side. And she said to me, "Well, I said that to my mother." I said, "I'm not your mother. No disrespect. I'm not your mother. And you're not going to say what to me. That's not appropriate. That's not how you address an adult when an adult asks you to do something. You could have said, can I finish this? Or I'll be there in a second, Miss Proctor." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are ways to say that, but wait. Whoa, 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 who? So the athlete's hitting on you? Oh, 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 Teddy. Oh, I take a sip on that, honey. So let me tell y'all my story. We can talk about teaching anytime, Teddy. I ain't got no problems with that. So let me tell y'all my story. So yeah, we need to talk about that with Teddy. So this week has been a week, right? Hold on. Yeah, that's right, baby. I don't do that. So let me tell the story. So earlier this week, I got a Facebook message late at night, probably about 11:30, 12 o'clock. I don't, because I'm up, y'all. I'm nocturnal. I'll be up knowing I gotta go to work in the morning. My ass be still sitting up here 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock watching TV. But anyway, so I got a message, and the message was from one of my former coworkers. When I first went into teaching, I taught at the same school in DC for 10 years. And it was really a great school. It was a great environment. We really were family. We knew each other's families, children, weddings, baby showers, all kinds of stuff. We really were, it was a great community. I miss that school so much. The students, we had a great relationship with the kids. And I'm not saying it was perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but we really truly built a family and a bond, and we were there for each other. I mean, spring break, we would go on, we took cruises on spring break together, families. We would have cookouts, and it was just it was a family. And so I got a message late Tuesday night. It must have been, because it wasn't Monday night. It might have been Monday night. Anyway, it was earlier this week, Monday, maybe Tuesday night. Got a message from one of my former coworkers saying, "Don't know if you heard, but Cheryl Odom died." It must have been Wednesday. It was Wednesday. No, she said Joe Teach died today. And I don't know if you heard that Cheryl Odom died earlier this week. Now, Cheryl Odom, I'm saying these people's names because y'all probably don't know them, but Cheryl Odom was a PE teacher and then became a dean, the dean while I was working at the school. And we only worked together maybe 2, 3 years. And then Joe Teach, I worked with him the whole 10 years that I worked at this school. And he even became the assistant principal my last 2 years at the school. So this is a former coworker that sent me this message. And these are two former colleagues that passed away, 2 in the same week. I said, my God. So waiting to hear the arrangements on that. We've been, as a family talking to each other, communicating back and forth. We hadn't seen each other in a while. We hadn't hung out in a while. So we're kind of, oh, shoot, that reminds me, I got to call somebody that's not on Facebook and let them know if they didn't already hear it. Damn. I got to remember. This is somebody that don't text, that don't do social media. So I need to give her a call. One of my buddies, though, but I need to call her. Oh, God, that reminds me, I need to call her. So got the arrangements on one, don't have the arrangements on the other. So last night, this gets me to the reason why I put that up, tell y'all that. So last night, I told y'all I was going over a friend's house. Now, one of my, this is how I get sidetracked. That's my ADHD. I go over here. Last night, went over a friend of mine, my boy, y'all know Face. If you look at the podcast, y'all know Face. Face, and if you've ever listened to the podcast, and even if some of the other earlier ones, we call him Don Juan Julio. The two of them are best friends. They're like brothers. They're best friends. So went over Juan's house last night to watch the game, chill out, have a couple of drinks, whatever. I get there, we get to talking, and they were talking about their boy Ray, friend of theirs, passed away. Suddenly just dropped dead yesterday. Found him in his bathroom dead. And I said, oh my God. I said, I'm sorry to hear that. I said, man, damn. So we got to talking a little bit about that. Now, while that's going on, I'm texting a friend of mine, talking shit about the game. He didn't respond. And then they said, Faith said to me, Deneen knows Ron. I'm throwing these names out because it doesn't matter. But I said, oh, for real? Now, Deneen is best friends with the guy that I was texting, another friend of mine. Best friends with him. So I sent him a text and I said, hey, I just heard about friend of Deneen's passing away. Please extend my condolences to her. He responds back to me immediately and said, yo, that was my boy too. He was like, I'm hurting like hell right now. We over Deneen's house. Why don't you come through? I immediately was like, okay. Because, when people say they need you, right? So I told the two of them, I said, look, I'm about to head over to Neen's house now. They all, everybody, it sounds like everybody kind of congregating over there. Do y'all want to come through? They were like, I'm not sure. But then it was like, so they ended up coming through. And we ended up all over the Neen's house. And I say all that to say, I wasn't going to go last night. I wasn't going to go last night because I was kind of, it's Friday, kind of tired, I'm going to watch the game from here. I was having a good conversation with y'all. I went, and it just was a fluke. And it just reminds you how small this world is. But it also just puts so much into perspective. And I say that to say, God will put you where he needs you to be, because had I not been there, we wouldn't have all made that connection that I didn't know this guy, but they all knew this guy. You know what I'm saying? And it was just really weird. So I said I was in a little bit of a funk because last night, we talked about, I listened to all them tell the stories about this guy. And he sounded like he was a really good guy, like a really good guy. Everybody loved him. And to hear the story and how things went down were really sad about, how they found his body and that kind of thing. And this morning I checked on all of them. I sent texts and checked on everybody and was like, sending you hugs. If you need me, I'm here. My weekend is pretty fluid. If you need to talk, if you want to go do something, whatever, let me know, that kind of thing. And everybody was just kind of like, my boy, he was like, man, I'm still in bed. I'm just fucked up. I'm still in bed. I talked to Neen. She was like, I don't even know how I feel right now. Talked to Face and Juan. Luckily for them, they had a distraction. It was Face's daughter's birthday, so they all at Six Flags right now. But they were like, yeah, we just getting caught up. We letting ourselves just enjoy the day with the girls and stuff. So I just say all that to say, I was in a little bit of a funk, and I was sitting here, and I said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and go live. because I know y'all are gonna cheer me up or at least distract me, make me feel better. But death has just been around me this week. And it always puts stuff in perspective when it's somebody your own age. This dude is my age. The guy that dropped dead yesterday. I'm turning next month. I'm turning the age that he was. So it just puts stuff in perspective, y'all. But I say those of you who were in here last night, y'all remember I was like, I don't know if I feel like going. Oh well, maybe they're gonna cancel. And it just life is the way it is, man. Life just happens the way it happens. Face is a cutie. That's the dark one with the beard, right? Yes, that's the dark one with the beard. Face is a mess. Let me tell you, face is a mess. And it's so funny because we all know each other, but we've all been around each other, but didn't know we've been around each other. Like Deneen and all of them, we've all been in the same places, the same clubs, the same parties. We all have known each other. It's that 6 degrees of separation thing until like recently, like within the last couple of weeks, we've all been like talking. Like, yeah, you been there. Yeah, I used to hang out there. You used to hang out there. We all used to. It's such a small world, y'all. Okay. Teddy. Come on. Teddy, I ain't fooling with you. I ain't fooling with you. I had to take a sip on that. Let me tell you something. I tell people all the time, one thing's for sure and two things for certain. Yeah. That's one thing we all gonna deal with is death. And that's why I don't understand people who don't want to talk about death. Death is gonna come. So plan for it, be ready for it. That don't mean you're inviting it. Just because you plan for it and you're ready for it doesn't mean you're inviting it, but it's gonna come one way or the other, however you look at it. And I don't fear, I know death is coming. I fear a painful death. I have this really, I'm about to tell y'all all my business. I feel like I'm gonna die in a car accident. I dream about it all the time. I dream about me getting into a really bad car accident all the time. That's why I'm very cautious about texting and driving and stuff like that because I don't know. I dream about it all the time. When I say all the time, I don't mean like every night, but I've dreamt about it multiple times about me dying in a car accident. So I feel like that's how I'm going to die. But I'm not inviting it, and I'm not scared to drive. You know what I'm saying? Like I get in my car every day, but I just, tell people that you love them. Yeah, tomorrow's not promised. Give them their roses while they're here. Yeah, I bet you are, Teddy, sipping right along with me. Yeah, I want to have a good relationship with death because there's nothing to prevent it from happening. Might as well get to know, girl. Well, So that was my night last night. So one thing I thought I was going to end up doing, end up being a totally different situation. And like I said, I had reached out to him, my friend. I'm talking trash to him about the game, and he wasn't responding. And I didn't, But then come to find out, he ain't responding. He dealing with something. He could care less about that damn game. One of his good friends and he was really good friends with this guy. And so they were really good. Like I said, I didn't know him. I'd probably been in places where he was because I'd been at parties and different events where he had been, but I didn't know him. And I even saw a picture of him, and he kind of looks familiar, but I know I don't know him. I think he just has a familiar face. But yeah, it definitely was an interesting night. It was a rough night. It was a good night because we were having good times. We were reminiscing and we were having good conversation. But I think this morning, one thing about grief, you can prolong grief or you can't stop grief. And last night it was that shock because he had just died. So it was the shock. And we were drinking and having good conversation and reminiscing and having positive vibes. But I think you wake up in the morning, sobered up, and then the reality hits you like, damn, my man gone. And I think that's what everybody's dealing with today. And all I could do, where I was kind of in a mood or in a funk a little bit was, I just wish I could do more for my friend. You know what I'm saying? I wished I could do more, but I can't do anything more. I can't do anything more than say, look, I'm here if you need me. Call me if you need something. I can't do more than just check in on you. And you know what I mean? And I'm dealing with my own grief, which I'm dealing with it. It wasn't like with them. This is somebody they saw regularly every day. These people some of them I hadn't seen in a long time, but it's just that still that relationship of, wow, 2 in 1 week, people I worked with are gone. That's a lot. That's a lot to deal with. But anyway, so that was my story. And that's why when I first got on here, I was in a little bit of a funk. But I do feel better. And y'all have a lot to do with it because y'all got me laughing and talking about other stuff and thinking about other things. And, this is my little crew right here. When I go live, I like to see, and don't get me wrong, I invite all newbies. I invite anybody to come through, but y'all my little crew. We have good little conversations. But yeah, so, okay, so I said we would talk. Let's go back to some history. Let's talk. Is Jacqueline still in here? Jacqueline, you still in the room? Little baby in the room, my little militant. I'm going to call you my little militant, little baby. Teddy is my English professor. Ebony is my homegirl. She gonna come and have some sippy sips with me. Sassy's still in the room. Give them their roses while they are here. You are absolutely correct. And the other thing that got me pissed off, I was looking for some stuff in the mail that ain't come yet. And that made me mad. On a whole nother superficial level. How you go from death to being mad you ain't get something in the mail? Okay, let me shut up. What we want to talk about? History. What we want to talk about? We left off talking about the Cuban Missile Crisis yesterday. And again, that is not necessarily my area of expertise. However, we can talk about it. We can talk about it a little bit. Which I want to talk about. Nothing? Okay, so let me see. Ebony, who do you think? Okay, yeah, let's talk about some fuckery. Chasing Atlanta reunion. Okay, so first of all, I had to reach out to Dario because I saw what he posted. Oh, we're gonna get to that one, Teddy. Yes, a parent told you that you wanted to be. Hey, Shauna, a parent told you that they wanted to beat you. We'll get to that one. I'll tell you my story. I had a situation this week too with a parent. So anyway, who do I think for it? I definitely think J-Twan got into it with somebody. We saw they were holding Eric back in that little clip. It looked like Lauren boyfriend Q got into it with somebody, probably Gardini. All right, Ebony, that's who you are. I want you to be. Oh, you know what? You stupid. Beat my ass. Exactly. Oh, I missed that. I missed the preview of Montel fighting. Who the fuck Montel fighting? Montel was only in like 2 episodes. What the fuck was it? Who he fighting? Honey. See, I sip. I take sips. I sip. I think that I don't know who Q was going after, Lauren's boyfriend Q, but he was going for somebody. And again, I think it might have been Montel. I mean, not Montel, Gardini. But y'all know Gardini ain't fighting nobody. J-Twan looked like he, he was ready to come to fight somebody. Eric, they showed them holding Eric back, so Eric definitely got into it with somebody. But I'm trying to think, who could Eric have gotten into it with? Like, again, I don't know who these people are fighting. And I promise you, I bet y'all, when we see these reunions, I bet you'll go back to social media shit that happened on lives, stuff that was said that didn't have nothing, that was never on camera. Because who the fuck Eric fighting? Who Montel fighting? Like, what did we see on camera that would connect to Montel wanting to fight somebody? Like, maybe I missed something. Y'all tell me. No, I watched Q vlog on his channel. At the end, him, Gardini, and a few of their friends went out to dinner. Gardini said, I told you that Power 3 shit is fake. Yeah, Lauren looked good. Tonight is a binge. Got to be real. Okay. And see, they need to be careful about who they let in that audience too. So the Power 3 is not. Q, but the thing is, Q never made any. He never lied about the fact that he was cool with Gardini. But the problem, Q, is when you have two friends that hate each other, you're gonna have to make a decision. Not saying you got to make a decision to be a friend with them, but you got to make a decision to probably just stay the fuck out of it. And you were trying to play both sides, and I don't mean, and I don't think it was with any malice intentions. I think he really was just trying to be friends with both of them. But their situation was too toxic. It was too toxic. What y'all thinking about that bullshit episode they dropped on Wednesday? Excuse me, as far as I'm concerned, they could have added that conversation to last week's episode and kept it moving. That whole conversation between Gardini and Jaylon / Lauren was just bullshit. That whole conversation was bullshit. And they didn't need to have no separate episode just to show us that, because it was not that deep. And it was so contrived and plain that she had that cup of water and threw it in his face. My thing is, at the end of the day, this man has your power, has your business in his hands. And like he said, I have the LLC, and yep, I was petty for doing it, but I haven't done anything with it. But now you're gonna make him do some things with it. He already let you know that he has some legal rights to stuff, that he could put a pause on your PayPal money, like he could fuck your money up. And you throwing water in his face, and no, I'm sorry, like. Mm-mm. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, sometimes you gotta humble yourself. You might not like the fact that Gardini got your LLC, but he got your LLC. And yeah, you changed however he was explaining it. He changed one thing, but he didn't change another thing. And Gardini still could make life hard for Jaylon. And you don't want out there and bought this house and buying cars for your parents and did all these things. You might want to humble yourself until you get that LLC situation taken care of. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, and that's the thing, Ebony. I feel the same way. That's why I'm saying you can't do all of the above. You can't rock with both of them. You can't rock with both of them. You got to make a decision. You might not like that you have to make a decision, but you got to make a damn decision. You can't. It just doesn't allow it to happen that way. You can't be friends with all of them. It just don't work that way, boo. Um, so I don't know. I don't know how that's gonna go down. I saw where they did go out to eat after the reunion, but I also saw, I don't know. Let me shut up. I don't know what I saw at this point. I don't know what the hell I saw at this point. Yeah, the Atlanta gay community definitely seems different than it definitely seems different. Definitely seems different. That's all I got. I don't understand the fighting. And I get reality TV, they want a lot of that drama. Like I get that. But there has to be a point where you have to use your fucking words. Like, and Andario was so, if you saw the message he posted, he was so upset. He was so discouraged and he was so frustrated that, he was just like, you work hard and you try to put a good product out. And, he was like, the reunion ended in a fight. And he was like, I was just so upset. Like they had to shut the reunion down again, like they had to do last year. They had to shut the whole damn reunion down. And it's really sad. It's really sad that we can't use our fucking words. Again, I get drama. I get reality TV. I get it. But at a certain point, yeah. My issue is God. Oh yeah. You can't be my ride or die, but stay breaking bread with exactly with the op. You can't do it. Exactly, Ebony. You can't have it both ways. And again, I say you got to make a decision, Q. You may not like that you have to make a decision, but you got to make a decision. And I don't know who you would choose, but you got to make a decision. It sounds like you've known Jaylon longer, but maybe you cooler with Gardini. I don't know what your issue is, but you got to make a decision. And I don't think it's with any malice or ill intent, but I do think that a decision has to be made. That's it. A decision has to be made. So we'll see. I don't know. I know for something that ended in a fight. They got a 3-part damn reunion coming. Now look, y'all ain't the housewives because shit. Some of them housewives reunions don't need to be 3 parts. So don't drag this shit out, and then it'd be some bullshit. Y'all see, I didn't even drop a review for that daggone episode on Wednesday. I was gonna have a couple things to say. I said I'm just gonna blend that in with my reunion review next week because I started to do a review, but I said the review wouldn't be but about 5 minutes long because it ain't shit to say. Because I think that whole conversation was wasted energy time. I think that scene was I feel like the producers told Gardini, we'll let you back on the show, but you're gonna have to have a showdown with Lauren. Like I feel like that was part of the plan or the deal to let Gardini come back on the show. And I don't know how they got Lauren to do it. I guess they said we're gonna let you throw some water on them. Shit, I don't know. But I feel like that whole scene was just so ill placed. It just was so awkward because neither one of them showed up to resolve anything. And then the only thing I heard that might have been some sort of resolution was when Jaylon was like, so what we gonna do about the LLC? And that really should have been the only topic of conversation because y'all not gonna agree on what happened. Y'all not gonna agree on what happened last season. But we do need to handle some business. You got my damn LLC. What we gonna do about it? That's really the only conversation. And then in that y'all need to be meeting at a lawyer's office because that shit ain't gonna be unraveled by us sitting at the day's end. We need some lawyers here. Hey, Mr. Peanut, how you doing, boo? No, they don't have enough security. Exactly, they are not that young. I'm fine. We're just sitting here talking right now. We're talking about the Chasing Atlanta reunion. I don't know if you look at Chasing Atlanta or not, but we're just shooting the breeze, just having a conversation. We're not talking about nothing in particular. But we'll see what that reunion does. I don't know, y'all. Which I think that reunion gonna be giving, Ebony. Little baby. Which I think that reunion gonna be giving. Because I don't think it's giving us. Hey, Diva, how you doing, girl? Diva Law. I hope he did too. I'm not the biggest fan of King of Reeds, but I don't wish him any ill will. So I do hope he did a good job. I do. They seem to be happy with what he did. I saw some the producers thanked him. The other, the only problem is again, he's not unbiased because him and Gardini are cool. So I hope he was able to be unbiased for the purposes of the reunion, but he's not unbiased. So we will see if he did a good job. But I hope he did. Like I said, I'm he ain't one of my favorite people, but I don't dislike him. Oh, thank you, Pooh. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I think Jay Twan definitely got into it. And like you said, he doesn't listen. He don't comprehend well. So I'm sure once he got revved up, it wasn't shit you could do or say to him. He was just he was just on level 20. Go back and watch Teddy. I mean, let me tell you something, it's foolishness and fuckery. So take it for however you want. I know what I wanted to ask y'all about while we got you on the chat. How many of y'all been paying attention to this Tasha K. Perez Hilton situation? What y'all think? Have y'all been watching it? I dropped a little video earlier this week with my little 2 cents on it. Even though I'm not really a fan of either one of them. But my problem is when somebody else who did the same thing I did gonna come in and tell me what I should and shouldn't do. Bitch, you built your career off of being a shock jock. Don't come in here now trying to tell me not to be a shock jock. Do I think that Tasha K is reckless? And do I think that inappropriate? And do I think she goes too far sometimes? Yep. Check. But Perez Hilton, you built your career on that. Now, just because you decided to soften up a little bit, come to the middle of the road, try to be a little more mainstream because you wanted to make a little bit of that mainstream money, don't act like that ain't what you did. Don't act like you weren't the TMZ of before YouTubers and all of that back at like 10. I remember I used to religiously go to Perez Hilton's blog every day to get my celebrity news before the Shade Room, before TMZ, before all of that shit, before YouTubers, before all of that shit. Perez Hilton was the man. And I used to go, he used to have that pink little backdrop and all of that. And I used to go to Perez Hilton's page every morning religiously to see what he posted. And I would check it again in the evening before I went to bed, see what else new popped up. Because I've always been into like celebrity gossip and pop culture and stuff. And it wasn't until he started, I feel like I don't remember all the specifics exactly, y'all. So don't get me lying. But he said a couple of things that I thought were a little, and then that whole situation where will.i.am went down. will.i.am punched his ass in the face, and then he wanted to play victim. You don't get to play victim. You don't get to talk shit about people and discredit people and come for people. And then when they see you and confront you, you don't get to be mad when they knock your ass in the mouth. Because will.i.am was like, so what was all that shit you was talking? Like, I'm here now, say it to my face. And of course, then he was so I stopped fucking with him after a while. But who the fuck are you to say YouTube need to take somebody's channel down? Again, shit, I ain't defending her because I think she got that shit too. But who the hell is Perez Hilton? Ebony, I'm gonna come back to that. Hold on, let me see here. I'll be doing that tomorrow. Yeah, when you watch it tomorrow, let me know what you think about it. What's wrong with King of Reeds? I just started following him. Again, it's not personal. He's just not my cup of tea. You know what I'm saying? I don't like the racial sound. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't like the racial undertones that he throws out. I don't like how when he's talking about white people, he calls them mayonnaise and he makes everything a racial issue. I just don't like that. I don't like it. I think we have enough in this country. I think we have enough legitimate racial issues to make everything a racial issue. That's just not my cup of tea. Again, he clearly he's got a lot of followers and stuff, but it's just not my cup of tea. So it's not personal. I don't know the man personally, but how he chooses to review things and his opinion on things. And then again, yeah, what Ebony said when he attacked Todrick Hall, if y'all go back, well, it was honestly, that was like one of the first videos I did, was doing a video about Todrick Hall and Justin Jay. And I was like, you're a bully. What he did to Todrick Hall was absolutely uncalled for. And then he was wrong. He looked stupid. And he owed Todrick Hall an apology, which I don't know if he ever did or not. But he really came for Todrick Hall about wanting to be white and wearing contacts and dating white men. And because he made the song Trade, it was like, oh, so now you want to be Trade, and just crazy. It was just a total attack, and it was a bully move. And I really think it was for clicks and views. I think it was Todrick Hall is a big person, so I'm gonna go after him. And he would look so stupid when it was all over said and done, because like coming after Todrick Hall about his eyes, somebody he was trying to be white, wearing them contacts, and Todrick was like, these are my real eyes. I guess I've been wearing contacts since birth because I was born with these eyes. You know what I mean? I just feel like it was a bully move. You said Tasha K gonna cost YouTube money. How? They're gonna sue Tasha K. Tasha K is a mess and so is Perez. Exactly. Like they both got shit with them. So I think the problem is Tasha K makes stuff up and she tells false truths. But Perez used to do the same thing. Perez used to make bullshit up. He used to do the exact same thing that Tasha K is doing now. You probably can't find none of that shit now because again, it wasn't on YouTube. It was his blog, which I don't think he even does the blog anymore. But Perez Hilton used to do the exact same thing. It was sources tell me, someone told me, I can't tell you who said it, but I heard. He used to do the same thing, the exact same thing. Now, was it as salacious as some of this shit that Tasha K comes up with? But he did the same thing. He had a whole lot of bullshit that you were like, where you get that from? And a lot of times it wasn't true, or it was highly exaggerated. Yeah, well, there you go. Let me tell you something. Tasha K is obsessed with the whole pedophile thing, and I think she's a little homophobic. And she was sexually abused, and so I think some of what she does or how she comes off is rooted in that. And I'm not, again, I ain't here to diagnose nobody. I ain't got nobody's medical degree. But I do think that's what some of that is. Oh, I'm glad you're back, Jacqueline. I was looking for you earlier because I said we were going to start talking about some history, but then we got to talking about Chasing Atlanta. Now we're talking about Tasha K and Perez Hilton. I used to look at Perez Hilton and Media Takeout. Tasha K definitely under the same brand. Yeah, I stopped looking at Media Takeout because Media Takeout, now you talk about making up some lies. Media Takeout just throws the shit up there and whatever sticks. They make, oh my God. I stopped reading Media Takeout a long time ago because they just throw the shit on the wall and say whatever stick. We hope it sticks. My dislike Kristen J goes all the way back to the blackout. He's a nasty, jealous person who believes the world owes him something. Well, he's jealous of Todrick. If Todrick came in his DMs, he wouldn't have had to had that disposition with him. Oh yeah, definitely not. Absolutely not. Some celeb will sue YouTube because the claim will be they're allowing her to make money off their pain through their platform. Oh, I see. Well, yeah, that's definitely. Well, that's why YouTube changed a lot of their and you probably know this, Teddy, because you had a channel a while back. But that's why YouTube changed a lot of its guidelines because of that YouTuber who had the person committing suicide on the page, and people went after YouTube and was like, how could you not have gotten this down? Like, how was this allowed to stay up there? And the person eventually took it down. One of the bigger YouTubers, I don't remember the name now, but was in a forest in Asia. I think it was in China, and it was called Suicide Forest because a lot of people go there to commit suicide. And there was a person hanging, and he was videotaping it and making fun, and it was real inappropriate and in bad taste. And it stayed up for a long time. And after that, there was a lot of backlash on YouTube. And that's when YouTube tightened up its guidelines and its policies, and that's when it changed a lot of stuff, and it fucked with a lot of people's money. And that lady, if you remember, maybe about 2 years ago, that woman went to the YouTube headquarters and was shooting, and I think she ended up killing herself or something like that, but she went up there with a gun to shoot, and I think did she kill like 2 people or something? But that's why she went up there. She was mentally unstable, let's be clear. But she said that that's what it was, that YouTube took her money because she had been making a certain amount of money off of YouTube. And when they changed those guidelines, it fucked up her money. And she went up there with a gun. So, Logan Paul, thank you. That's who it was. And after that, YouTube changed a lot of its guidelines and a lot of its policies. And again, I'm new to YouTube, so I don't know. I know it changed. And what pissed me off was a friend of mine who, we ain't friends no more. Her choice, not mine. But anyway, had kept telling me, you need to do YouTube. You need to do YouTube. And I was like, girl, no, I want to do YouTube. I was doing the podcast. I was like, I'm good with doing the podcast. I don't want to do the YouTube. I want to do YouTube. And I finally decided to go ahead and just try it. And YouTube changed this. They changed their policies on January 1st of 2018. Had I started my YouTube channel in December 2017, I'd have been under the old guidelines. I'd have been like, I wouldn't have had to get the 1,000 followers and the watch hours and all that. I could have just started and been monetized from day one. But I didn't start my YouTube channel until February. Had I known, I would have started it 2 months earlier. But it worked out. It is what it is. It took me a while to get my little 1,000 subscribers and stuff like that. But it also gave me time to learn YouTube and get and learn how to do stuff too. So it worked out. Right. And that's the thing with the monetization. Yeah. I hate them Paul brothers. Had to block them because my son followed them. Yeah, I don't watch him. I don't really know anything about him. Logan Paul was the second fool to do that. The original fool was PewDiePie. He was using racist and homophobic. Yeah, I've heard of PewDiePie. And that's when YouTube started. Okay, I see what you're saying. That's another one I blocked. Yeah, I've definitely heard of PewDiePie, but I've never looked at any of PewDiePie's videos. My godson likes PewDiePie, so I need to tell my girlfriend to tell him to stop watching PewDiePie because I don't watch him, so I don't know what the fuck he is. Yeah, PewDiePie he's the highest paid person off of YouTube, and he makes millions off of YouTube a year, millions. So yeah, he's definitely. And see, that's what Tasha K wants. Tasha K, she keeps talking about road to 1 million. But if y'all notice, her numbers have been going down. She's been losing subscribers. She has been losing subscribers. People like that sensationalism, but the thing about when you get fans that way, they're very temperamental, so they don't last long. And the minute you do one thing that pisses them off, they're gone. So you can build up those numbers, but then you put out the wrong video, or it take you too long to put out a video, or you say the wrong thing, they gone. And that's something that James always says to me, to be just giving y'all real talk. That's one thing James always says to me about, jumping in them YouTube streets. That's why the only time I come off the porch is when it's him. If you notice, I don't get in none of that shit. And if I had decided to make that my content, I probably would have 5,000 viewers by now. First of all, I ain't got time for all that shit. Who the hell got time to keep paying attention to what everybody else doing? I ain't got time for it. And then, I know that my viewers that I have are loyal. You know what I mean? No, I don't have 5,000 or 6,000 subscribers, but the ones I got are loyal. We have a good time. Y'all come in when we talk. We have a good time. It is what it is. I enjoy it. I will do it until it's no longer enjoyable to me. When I stop enjoying it, that's when I'll stop doing it. But right now, sorry, y'all. Sorry, y'all. Anyway, she has to get more I thought she was steady going up. She has to get more mainstream. My girlfriend, who has 4 million subs, doesn't do a lot of stuff centered around Black people, and he's Black and gay. Yeah, back in the day, Wendy didn't go out because she would have been jumped every minute. They were meeting outside a radio station ready to fight. Oh, total. Yeah, and that's the thing. You have to also, when you decide to be that shock jock, you have to be ready for all that comes with being a shock jock. And a lot of it, you gotta be very careful. Like, I hope Tasha K got security. I do. Yeah, you definitely have to, and that's what I would say. That's what Perez Hilton did. Perez Hilton built up an audience off of being a shock jock and then moved to the middle. You see what I'm saying? And now he looking at Tasha K being a shock jock, but you mad because she got double your subscribers. That's what you mad about. That's what you really mad about. You mad because she's got double of what you have, doing what you used to do. That's what you're really mad about. And that's why I say I'm not a Tasha K fan. I don't subscribe to Tasha K, but I'm gonna defend her right to do what she does. And yes, it's again, like I said in my video, what is so different between what Tasha K does and what the National Enquirer does? They do the same thing she does. They put out crazy headlines. So you'll buy the magazine, and once you open it up, you get a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and then they cover their back because they use catchwords like allegedly, reportedly. And the thing that people don't understand is there's a very high threshold when someone is a public figure. It's a very high threshold to prove slander and defamation. You have to prove the intent. And as long as she can say somebody told me, and as a journalist, she doesn't have to reveal the name. All she got to do is say, someone credible told me. She's covered 90 to 95% of that. She's covered. She knows it. Her lawyers have told her. Y'all think she puts that shit out before she talks to her lawyers? No. She definitely runs that shit by her lawyer. Maybe not early on, but now that she's been sued a few times and stuff like that, she runs that shit by her lawyers. She knows exactly what she's doing. She knows exactly what she's doing. What up, Carolyn? You missed a lot, girl. We've been here for an hour, and I'm only going to be on here for about another 15, 20 minutes. I think the baby's due any day now. I think she's like within 2 to 3 weeks. I think she's like really, really, really close. Right. Tasha's just a simple YouTuber. But what I'm saying is, what's the difference between if the content that she's putting out? Yeah, the National Enquirer has a pit bull of lawyers to cover them, but it's the same thing, though. The same thing they're standing behind that allows them to stay in business is the same thing Tasha K is standing behind. And she she claims she got a good legal team. I don't know. But she's currently being sued by a whole lot of people. So if that's how she want to spend her money, if it's worth it to her in the end to spend as much money on lawyers that it seems like she's spending on lawyers. What's up, Regina? Quintessential. Okay. Perez is racist. He's been that easy for a while. I know him from his Miami days before his blog even got big. Oh. Oh. Well, he definitely says racist. He's definitely said some racist things. Oh, that's without a doubt. Without a doubt. Yeah, he's definitely said some things that are racist. I can't think of an exact example right now, but I know that there was some things that happened, which is part of the reason why I stopped following him. I stopped watching. I mean, reading his blog and all that stuff. Like I stopped a long time ago. Like long time ago. Long before I was watching YouTube and stuff like that. Long time ago. He's coming from clicks and views, quintessential. He wants some of her subs. He looked at that number and was like, whoa, how she got that many subs? He coming for her numbers. That's all that is. That's all that was. That was a numbers grab. That was a numbers grab. Because you can't with a straight face tell me that you feel like you justified in what you're saying. Because it's the same bullshit that you was doing. And now all of a sudden you so got so much integrity. Nah, it was the same shit. Same shit. Hold on, y'all. What the hell? I'm sorry, y'all. I was looking at something, I try to put on stuff that it's not gonna take my attention. I really wish I could play music while we do this, but I can't do that. YouTube be like boop boop bloop 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 bloop. So no, we can do that. Right. Saying allegedly and stuff like that, it's not a catch-all. However, because when you're talking about a person, a public figure, the burden of proof is so high. The burden of proof is so high when it's now if it were me and you said some stuff about me and that you knew wasn't true, me suing you, the burden is a lot lower because neither one of us are public figures. But let's say I blow up and I end up getting my own talk show or something like that. I become a public figure. And you could be like, well, I remember one time we was on the YouTube live and she said such and such and such and such and such. And the burden of proof on me to prove malice on your part is so high because someone is a public figure. Yeah, allegedly it's not a catch-all, but even if you take allegedly out of it, I have to prove. So when she says a credible source told me, or it was a person's. Notice how a lot of times she says it's family members. Well, this person's cousin said it. This person's mother said it. This person's aunt said it, because that lends validity to who you're talking to. And the idea is, well, if it's a family member, they have some inside scoop, and that lends validity. Trust me, I tried to sue somebody for defamation, and the burden of proof is very, very high. Very high. Because the person I was trying to sue was a public figure. And when we talked it was a group of us, and we talked to the lawyers, and it was very, the burden was very high. If even 1 ounce of what she says turns out to be true, it can validate the whole statement. Because if I say, I don't even try to think of a good example. If I accuse Teddy of being Teddy's a pedophile. I saw Teddy near. I don't even want to say that. Take that back because I don't even want to put that in the universe. I take that back, Teddy. I take that back. If I say so and so is a thief, shit. Trying to think of something not so salacious, but I would rather call you a thief than a pedophile. Teddy is a thief, and he stole that iPhone in his hand. I know he stole that iPhone because one day we were in the iPhone store and he told me how he could get an iPhone and jailbreak it, and he could steal that iPhone, right? All I have to prove is that me and Teddy had a conversation in the iPhone store about how to jailbreak an iPhone. I don't have to prove that Teddy stole the iPhone. I just have to prove that what I was saying was valid enough based on what I knew about Teddy, because Teddy's a public figure. Y'all see what I'm saying? You don't have to prove that what Tasha K doesn't have to prove that everything she's saying is true. She has to prove that she had a reasonable belief that what she was saying is true. That's the burden of proof with a public figure. So it's not that easy. It's not that easy to win a lawsuit against somebody for defamation. It just isn't. Yeah, I'm sorry, Teddy. I apologize. I don't even want to put that out there in the universe. I apologize. I apologize. Oh, really? So you know him like that? That's Teddy. Yeah, I'm sorry, Teddy. I can't apologize enough. I'm sorry. I don't even know. That should have never came out of my mouth. I apologize. But see, that's how shit gets started. Yeah, Tom Cruise has won against the National Enquirer. Like I said earlier, Carol Burnett has won. People have won. Don't get me wrong. People have won against the National Enquirer. I'm just saying the burden is hard and it's high and it's a lot of money. Tom Cruise won, but I bet you what he won didn't compare to what he spent. Same thing with Carol Burnett. She said it wasn't about the money; it was about the principle. So yeah, if you got the money to sue on principle, go for it, because they're gonna drag it out. They're going to make it as hard as possible. And a lot of times people don't sue not because what somebody said was true, but they don't sue because it's too expensive to sue. Yeah, at the end of the day, they'll probably win their lawsuit, but it's very expensive to sue. And all I'm saying is, I'm not saying that Tasha K isn't reckless. She's absolutely reckless in what the fuck she says. All I'm saying is there are loopholes when you're dealing with public figures. And that's why people get away with saying so many salacious things about people and it not nothing happening. That's why they get away with it. Right. That's what I'm saying, little baby. Like, people can win. I ain't saying people don't win. They do. People win. But what I'm saying is that it's not worth what you put in. Somebody like a Tom Cruise got money to spend and time to waste. You know what I'm saying? The average celebrity doesn't have it like that or doesn't want to. Whoopi Goldberg talks about that all the time. She said lies have been told about her, but the time and energy that it would take for her to put into suing somebody, she says it's not worth it for her. It's just not worth it for her. She's talked to lawyers about stuff and I think she might have even sued at one time, but it's just the time that it takes to sue somebody and what you have to put into it. It just ain't, it's sometimes the return just ain't worth it. And that's what people like Tasha K and Perez Hilton and the National Enquirer and TMZ, that's what they bank on, is that the person ain't going to sue, that the person doesn't want to pursue it. The person doesn't want to spend the money. That's what they bank on. That's what they bank on. I see what you're saying, little baby. I understand the point you're making that Tasha K doesn't have what the National Enquirer has. I got that. I absolutely got that. But she thinks, see, here's the other thing about Tasha K. Tasha K is very arrogant. She thinks she's good to go. All right. Let her find out the hard way. She thinks she's good to go. So them little lawyers she got down there in Atlanta, if she think that they ready to fight with the big dogs, go for it. This Cardi B shit is gonna get her. Like, these little people she been messing with, like Portia Williams' fiance and some of these other people that ain't really fucking with her. But see, Cardi ain't playing with her. And Cardi got the money and the backing, and she's angry. So Cardi might be the one. Again, I ain't really been following that story like that. I just know it was I remember something with the roommate. Cardi's ex-roommate said that Cardi had roaches and shit. Like, I don't remember. But I don't know what this whole lawsuit is. I don't know what all that's about, and I don't care. But Cardi might be the one, because Cardi got time. She got time, she got money. Exactly, Sean. That's the thing, Shauna. Like, and that's part of the problem, is that she's not considered a credible journalist. I don't think we know people do. But people who take what she says to be facts ain't that bright. again, some of what she said might have a grade of truth to it, but everything she's saying ain't based on the truth. Everything she's saying ain't based on the truth. Sorry, y'all. I want to piss ice. But she is not a journalist. I know, as someone who has a PR firm from a journalism program, that pissed me off. Oh, absolutely. Oh, I see what you're saying. That's why she switched to being a blogger and a celebrity, whatever she calls herself. Yeah, like I said, she ain't my cup of tea. And I used to watch Tasha K. I used to kind of enjoy Tasha K when I first started watching YouTube videos. But then when she switched over to start doing this shock jock shit, I can't look at her videos for that long because the way she talks annoys me. And she yells and it's annoying to me. I can't do it for too long. I heard she was suspended for season 12. I have not read talking about Nene and the Real Housewives of Atlanta, y'all. I heard she was suspended for season 12. So I don't know what's true because I also heard that she got a pay raise for season 12. I don't know what's true at this point. You out? Teddy, you said peace. You out? Yeah, I don't know the truth. I don't know. Yeah, I'm about to bye Teddy. Yeah, I'm about to be out in a few minutes myself, y'all. But I don't know what the truth is. I guess we'll have to wait and see because they're actually filming. So has she not been filming? Or what they filmed, are they gonna scratch it? Did something else happen? Because my thing is, if you was going to suspend her, you asked you to suspend her when all that shit went down last season. You wait until y'all start filming for the new season. Now you want to suspend her. So did something else happen that we don't know about? Because again, I haven't read the article, so I don't know what they said. Oh, Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys. Okay, well, get ready for your boo boo. Have a good evening. Y'all have a nice little Saturday night, some Netflix and chill. Yeah. Bravo's getting ready to get a lot of they need some fresh blood in a lot of these shows. They need some new blood. My thing is shit, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying? Okay, Regina. I hear you. Oh, Nene, I just think I think they need some new blood. I think they need to stop bringing back old people. I think they need a lot of new blood, but they do need to make sure these people are testing well. And the other thing they need to make sure is that people are not trying to like the problem now is you're not getting raw anymore. Like when these shows first started, when a lot of these reality shows first started, you were getting raw. You were getting people who didn't know what to expect, didn't know what to do, didn't have a history on other people. Now you going on these reality shows, you know what they want. You know what to do. You know what to expect. So you're not getting raw anymore. You're getting rehearsed, you're getting pre-planned. I know the persona I want to put out there before I get out there. You very rarely get raw anymore. And that's part of the problem with bringing on new people is they're not coming off authentic. Even though we know a lot of it isn't authentic, but you got to come off as authentic, at least pretend to be a little bit. And I think that's part of the problem. Right. And that's why when she got a raise, I was like, well, hell, she got a raise for how she acted last season. There's no incentive for her not to act crazy. You know what I mean? They're trying to get a younger demo. Well, they need to get rid of a whole lot of them because I don't think anybody on the Real Housewives, the youngest one is what? Eva? No, Shamari was the youngest one, and she was in her 30s. So if they wanted a younger demographic, they're going to definitely have to get rid of some of them folks. Miss DeVoe was a little too authentic. She was telling a little bit too much of her business. I was going to say something about Bravo. I lost it. I don't know what I was gonna say. Whatever I was gonna say is gone. I'm sorry. I was gonna say something about brother. Nene. Shit, it's gone, y'all. Yeah, I was surprised they got rid of Shamari. I thought Shamari bought. She gave a whole lot of it because she told all her damn business. I thought she bought some shit to the show. I'm surprised they didn't bring her. Right. That's what Nene ain't want them to see in that damn closet. Nene ain't had shit in that closet. That's what that was about. All that shit she showed them at the beginning when she let them film her closet was rented and borrowed, and she didn't want them to go in that closet and see that shit empty. That's what that was. Do I follow Tanya on IG? I think I do. I think I do. I think I do follow her on Chance. Oh, Bravo's reevaluating the whole franchise. I wouldn't be surprised and I wouldn't be shocked by it. Sorry about that glare, y'all. Let me try it. Anyway. Um, because again, all of these franchises, for the exception of Real Housewives of Dallas, I think is the youngest franchise in Potomac. But for the exception of those two, these franchises have been going on 7 or 8 years. So women who started in their 30s are now in their 40s or older. And again, it's time to bring some new blood. Did y'all see? I saw a tweet from Bravo Andy today. They just signed on Paris Hilton's mom for the next season of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. You know, Lisa Vanderpump left, but they got them Paris Hilton and Nikki Hilton's mom, which is Kyle's sister, signed on to do next season. So that'll be interesting to see how that dynamic works out. Hey, servant, how you doing? Thank you for coming through. You are a supporter, and I thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. It's all right, Regina, girl. We're gonna do it too. We might be back here again tomorrow. This is my weekends are one extreme or the other. My weekends are either I got 50 things to do and I'm running from this place to that place to that place, or I ain't got nothing to do. When I tell you I ain't did nothing today, all I did today was we get ready for my family vacation, and all I did today was go pick up some money from my cousin for her to pay on her trip, and went to the bank and deposited in my account. Now I sat at my cousin's house for about 3 hours. Me and her was running our mouth, but I ain't did nothing. I came here and I told y'all I was starting to feel a little funky. I was gonna work on my book for a little while, but then like I said, I just wasn't in the mood. I got in my head a little bit, started getting into a little bit of a funk, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and go live. I'm gonna go ahead and go live because I know y'all gonna put me in a good mood, make me feel better, and y'all have. Y'all really truly have. When I get off of here, I'm gonna go change my clothes and get into my little house clothes, my relaxing house clothes. Cause honey, I still got my Spanx on, y'all. I'm gonna go get into some of my relaxer house clothes, and I'm gonna watch some TV tonight. The good thing is I can clean out my DVR a little bit, honey. I got a bunch of stuff I can get a bunch of junk out because I don't have a lot of stuff that I need to watch and review. But you know, June starts a whole lot of new shit. We got Queen Sugar, we have Claws, we have Pose, we have a new Big Brother, we have what else is starting in June? Deceptions, that new show that's going to be coming on the OWN network. Deceptions. Something else new is starting in June. So it's a lot of new shows starting in June. I think Claus comes on tomorrow night, I think. And then Pose comes on Tuesday. When does Pose come on? I keep hearing Handmaid's Tale, but I also keep hearing that Handmaid's Tale is a lot to take in. I don't know if I can do Handmaid's Tale. Go ahead, yeah, because you know what? I haven't caught it. I saw the first part, but I have to finish it myself. Go on and catch Swipe Left, because yeah, I'm about to get off here in a few minutes. Okay, let's talk about Pose and the acting. It had its moments. But then there was some really good acting, like Billy Porter, honey. Billy Porter brought the house down. He played that part. He played that part. But you're right. There was some moments. And I'm hoping that they've taken their success and they've invested in some classes. That's all I'm But I love Pose. I love Pose. I love Pose. Can't wait for calls Tuesday for Pose. Okay. Yeah, Handmaid's Tellers. I'm being told it's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. So I don't know if I'm ready for it. Yeah. Oh man. Let me get off. I don't know why I be picking up the phone. I get distracted. I'm gonna stay in a good mood, y'all. I'm gonna stay in a good mood. I pick up the phone. I should leave my phone over there. Because every time I pick up my phone, I get into a little funk all over again. Yes, you have to break in between. Oh, for Handmaid's Tale. That's what I heard. It's a lot. I heard it's a lot to deal with. So I'm not gonna say I ain't never gonna watch it. I'm gonna say I ain't watching it tonight. But I ain't gonna say I'm never gonna watch it. So I don't know. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try, Regina. I'm gonna try to stay in a good mood because y'all really did help me. Y'all put me in a good mood. Y'all really helped. What I need to do is stay away from my phone. That's what I need to do. I need to stay away from my phone. I need to stay away from my phone. So I'm gonna put it over there and put it on the charger. Um oh, Shauna beat it's good. It's really good and it's a must see, but you gotta be ready. You've got to be ready. The Khalif Broward story is hard. It's heartbreaking, but it's good. It's good, but it is heartbreaking. You know what I'm getting ready to do, Regina? My phone, for whatever reason, my phone is not updating. I don't know why it's not connected to the Wi-Fi, whatever. So what I'm getting ready to do is do the update. Not update, but backup, whatever you got to do. Is it update or backup, whatever. Hey, Lady V, what's it about? Khalif Broward. Shit, is the young man who was arrested and couldn't make bail, ended up spending like 3 years in Rikers Island, and 70 to 80% of that time he was in solitary confinement. He was beaten. He was he tried to commit suicide, and when it was all over said and done, he was never he was innocent. And the DA purposely played games, and because the only eyewitness against him had fled the country. The only eyewitness against him, supposedly he stole a book bag. Let's rewind. He stole a book bag that had like an iPod in it. Supposedly. That was allegedly. He had a prior juvenile conviction or something for joyriding in an ice cream truck or some bullshit. And when he went to make bail, the judge had originally given him bail, and his family needed something like $700 for the bail. Didn't have the money, went to the father. The father said no. Well, by the time the family was able to raise the money and went back to get him out, the judge had revoked the bail because of the prior conviction for him stealing the ice cream truck. So he ended up having to stay in Rikers. And this is where I'm torn on the whole idea of bail and having to sit in jail while you're waiting for trial. I understand that for some people for violent offenses, I get it. But for somebody accused of stealing the book bag, I just feel like he could have fucking went home until his court date. I'm sorry. But neither here nor there, he ended up staying in Rikers Island. And I probably said more than I should have said since Shauna wants to watch it. I'm sorry, baby. But it was really well done. It was good, but it's going to piss you off because once again, it's going to expose our fucked up criminal justice system for what it is. Yeah, he was a young guy. I want to say he was like 16, 17 years old. Like he was a kid. He was under 18. He was a kid. He was a kid. And Jay-Z and I forgot the other producer, but they produced that one. And it was really well done. It was very well done. Um, but Shauna, you'll enjoy it. But again, I don't know if you'll be able to watch it all the way through because I could not. I could not. Yeah. But again, I feel like it's a story that everybody needs to see. Because again, it shows the exploitation of the poor in this country because again, he sat in jail because his family didn't have the money. You know what I mean? Had they had the money that first day he got bail, he'd have been out and it would have never been an issue. Um, but yeah, so, and again, a book bag, a book bag. And I think the only reason why, because of the iPod, because that added monetary value. See, that's the thing I used to try to explain to when I worked at the jail. I tried to explain to my students. I was like, yeah, y'all saying all I did was steal a cell phone, but you stole a $900 cell phone. So it's no longer considered a petty crime. When it's over, I think $500, it goes into a felony. So you stealing these $1,000 cell phones. Yeah, it's just a cell phone, but the dollar value of it. Oh, it's just an iPad, but it's the dollar value that puts you in another category. You know what I'm saying? You know what, Regina? How old is your son? Because I think there are things that we need to show our children. I'm not saying we need to show them the whole thing. Maybe you want to watch it yourself and edit and maybe show him pieces. But I think they need to understand that when we say things to them, it's not bullshit. When we say things to them, it's not us being extra or over the top or, oh, mama, no, boo. Mama saying these things, excuse me, for a reason. I was talking about that today with my cousin. When me and her were talking, we were talking about the When They See Us. And um I said, I understand now as a child why my mother would never let me hang out. My mother, the quickest way to get my mama to say no was like, Mom, can we just go hang out? She'd be like, hang out. We don't hang out. Where are you going? What are you doing when you get there? So I couldn't say, Mom, can I go down to the basketball court and hang out? I had to say, Mom, I want to go play basketball. And I did play basketball. So it wasn't like, I told y'all before I'm a tomboy. So I played basketball. Now, I wasn't going down there to play no basketball. I was going down there to watch the boys play basketball. Or I had to say to her, Mom, there's a basketball game. Can I go? But just to say, we're going to go hang out at the basketball court. Oh, no, no, no. Same thing about going to the mall. Mom, going to the mall. You don't have any money. What are you going to the mall for? Oh, we just going to hang out at the mall. No, no, no. We don't hang out at the mall. And as an adult, I see it. But as a kid, I was like, she tripping. You know what I'm saying? Why we can't just want to go to the mall and see what's at the mall? She was like, we don't go to the mall to hang out. We go to the mall to buy something. And if you don't have any money, you don't need to be there. But now I get it. I understand now why my mother was like, no, that's how shit happens. That's how people get in trouble. Go to the mall with no money. Then you see something you want. Temptation might take over. My mama wasn't playing that. Now, that don't mean I ain't never lie to her and do it anyway. But as an adult, that's what she put out there because that's the expectation. Oh yeah, go for a 20-year-old on the roll. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, Regina. I'm just saying you might want to edit it. I'm not saying he needs to look at the whole thing, but I do think those are those courageous conversations that we need to have that are hard. And telling it's the same thing I deal with in my classroom. Telling somebody something versus letting them see it and understanding why I'm saying it. That's all I'm saying. Um, Yeah, 14. And again, I know that was hard for you to get through it with him at 14, but remember the youngest victim of the Central Park 5, he was 14. Kevin, he was 14 years old. So again, it's hard to watch, but they lived it. They lived it. Yeah. And I'll be honest with y'all, I don't have y'all know I don't have children, but I have two nephews actually, and I have a little cousin. He ain't so little anymore, but that's my baby. And he's in law school now. He just finished his first year of law school. But those are hard conversations to have. But when you are responsible for a Black man, unfortunately in this country, those are the conversations we gotta have. Those are the conversations we have to have. And it's a shame and it's sad, but that's what we gotta do, y'all. Oh, I'm sorry, Regina. Regina, what I'm trying to do is put together. I'm actually putting together a pot to do a show on just the Central Park 5 with a panel. I've reached out to some of my friends. I think my cousin is going to talk on it. Try to get Mink to talk on it, and a few of my other friends for us to all talk on it. And we're going to do just a dedicated episode 2 talking about when they see us in the Central Park 5 and just the just what it was and the implications of it and where we are now. So don't feel bad. We're going to put something together and just do a whole thing about it and invite the conversation, invite, you guys input and everything to speak on it. Yep. All right, y'all. I'm ready to get off of here. It's been almost 2 hours and I've enjoyed it. And y'all, I appreciate it because again, I told y'all, yeah, I'm working on it too. I'm working on it too. It'll probably be what I'm planning tentatively. It's gonna be June 22nd. Couldn't do it this weekend. It was too fast to try to put together. Next weekend is Father's Day weekend, and so it'll tentatively be June 22nd. Yeah. So yeah. So we're about to get off of here. Like I said, been on here almost for 2 hours. Appreciate it because again, I was in a little bit of a funk. I feel better now. I just got to fight to make sure I don't get back in that funk. Like I said, I'm about to go change my clothes and watch a little TV and just relax. Y'all have a great Saturday night, y'all. And again, I might come back on here tomorrow. I think Faith might come through. Mink can't come. She's got a lot. She's got a lot going on this weekend. But I think Faith might come through. So I don't know what the hell we're gonna talk about because when it's just me and Faith, it'd be a whole different conversation. But I think me and Faith are gonna come through. So we'll see what we do. We see what we're talking about tomorrow. Peace. Y'all have a good evening. Ebony, you're wrong. Ebony, you are wrong, but I ain't mad at you.